there is a consultative paper, there is a new law, we always invite the people who are relating to this area, and we want to discuss threadwear. Now, this consultative paper is a very important paper, and we always try to do the proactive approach. In this, we want to discuss threadwear issues we want to ask. So tomorrow when the law, this particular concept paper becomes the law, then we will not face any problem. Today's webinar is also on the same line. Our object of this webinar is very clear that after this webinar, whatever issues are there, we all should discuss threadwear. So the regulator is here with us, so they can modify when they are coming out with the final law. So in a bid to revamp and streamline the framework governing insider trading, SEBI aimed to address the challenges faced by insiders, especially senior management and key managerial persons who routinely possess unpublished price sensitive information always. The introduction of trading plan in 2015 was intended to provide a compliant avenue for insider to trade while in possession of UPSI. However, the usage of these plans have been limited due to perceived regulatory constraint because they think that this is very complicated. Over the last 5 years, this is the consultative paper is suggested that over the last 5 years, an average of around 30 trading plans annually submitted by insider to stock exchange indicate the significantly low adoption rate considering the extensive number of listed companies. To address this, SEBI formed a working group on July 3rd, 2023, consisting of SEBI officials, stock exchanges, market participants, aiming to review and enhance trading plan provision to encourage wider adoption by perpetual insiders in possession of UPSI. Now, when the SEBI came out with this proposal, so what was the issue before the consulting in the paper and the committee? First was the complex regulatory requirement was there. Limited flexibility in trading window was there because timeline was very rigid. Lack of clarity in reporting and disclosure was there because specific detail they need to disclose what are the issues that was there. Privacy and security concern was there because privacy and security concern for insider, particularly senior management, was there. And then misuse and monitoring, that whatever you are doing, it is not misuse. And then insufficient market adoption, that was the main concern of SEBI, that despite of this trading plan, which they have brought out for the benefit of insider, why they are not adopting. So SEBI came, working group they formed, and the working group highlighted the certain existing provision, such as mandatory execution without price limit and lengthy advance planning of 12 months, create economic disadvantage for insider during adverse price movement. Additionally, the inability to set price limit and to extend cool-off period of 6 months further deter the attractiveness of this trading plan, compounded by dynamic and uncertain nature of securities market. Now, on the basis of this, the SEBI came out 7 suggestions in this, and they came out with cool-off period, average conversion period, blackout period, price limit for traders, reporting disclosure, and handling personal detail in trading plan. Now, the earliest it was whatever they were providing, you have to do this. It was a very complex and cumbersome. So that's why this committee. Now, the question is, what issue, problems, gap are there after the implementation of this consultative paper, which they want to discuss? One is monitoring and enforcement, because whatever this concept paper has come, we have to discuss on the monetary and enforcement part, insider privacy concern. These are the 2 issues which we want to discuss. Now, what solution will come after this implementation of this? One is balanced privacy measure, then enhanced monitoring mechanism, educate and training, and encouraging adoption. So these are the issues which SEBI should work out, and they will do. When I was reading this, I tried to do the research that whether this particular concept is available other part of the world or not. So I found that only 2 to 3 countries are there. One is United States, where Rule 10b-5, one plan were established in the early 2000 by the US Securities and Exchange Commission. Then in Canada, automatic securities disposition plan emerged in the early 2000 under guidelines from the Canadian Securities Administration, where insider can adopt automatic security deposition plan similar to trading plan for predetermined trading condition, which I was telling the US that Rule 10b-5 one plan allow insider to set pre-arranged trading plan with a specific condition for trading of securities. These are the 2 countries very specifically talking about this. European Union, they are having a concept of MAR, Market Abuse Regulation, that defines rules for insider dealing and unlawful disclosure. Similar plan might exist, but specific can vary from member state. Other than Japan, Australia, United Kingdom, they are not having this type of advanced plans. So today what we will do this, we will discuss the each and every aspects of this, and that's why we have invited the best of the faculty relating to this. So I extend a very hearty welcome to our chief guest and all the learned speaker for today's webinar. First, I'll brief introduce Mr. Sundaresan sir. He's our chief guest and executive director of SEBI. He's more than 32 years experience in development, regulation, and protection of interest of investors in securities market and has worked in various departments in SEBI. He has supervised more than 500 investigation cases of manipulation, insider trading, takeover, and other things. He strongly believes in sharing knowledge and delivered 350 more than this lecture in India and more than 25 plus lectures overseas seminar on various topics related to securities market. We welcome Sundaresan sir and your guidance and always encouraging things that industry should adopt these type of thing, and wherever there is a need of dialogue, you are always coming forward. So thank you very much, sir, for this proactive approach. Then we have Anand Kumar Das. He's a chief general manager SEBI. He joined SEBI in '99 and he's worked in many areas of SEBI, including a surveillance department, corporate finance, collective investment scheme. He has also been associated with formulating various policies in area of takeover, buyback, delisting, and public issue of companies. He is one of the learned person in SEBI who has done so many things in various areas. I welcome Anand sir for this program. We have another speaker, Mr. Vijayan, Deputy General Manager SEBI, and worked in the Integrated Surveillance Department in Division of Policy. He has been a SEBI for more than 16 years and worked as an investor, assistant education department, and investigation department. We welcome him. Then we have a Savitri Parekh. She is joining shortly. She has a 28 years experience in the corporate as a company secretary, and now she's a company secretary and compliance officer of Reliance Industry, and she is also the specialist editor of Ramaiya Guide of Companies Act and general editor of MC Bhandari book, which we can understand the expertise she has. I welcome Savitri. She is joining shortly. Then we have Mr. Ajay Agrawal, is a senior executive vice president, legal and secretary, HDFC Bank Limited. He is an expert in corporate and securities law, corporate governance, legal and regulatory compliances. He has been a member of a CII National Committee of Regulatory Affairs since 2018-19 and the member of task force in banking and finance constituted by ICSI. He was the member of CII Corporate Governance Council for the year 2020 to 2022. I welcome Ajay Agrawal ji for this program. Then we have Geetika Anand, is Company Secretary and Compliance Officer at Hindalco. She joined the Aditya Birla Group in 2006, and now she has become the Company Secretary of Hindalco Limited, one of the biggest company in this group. I welcome Geetika. She's also joining. Then we have Mr. Gopal Krishnan Iyer, is a Chief General Manager in Listing Compliance at BSC. He has been the BSC for over 24 years having expertise in listing, broker supervision, membership, compliance, investor service, monitoring of compliance by listed companies, IPO and delisting process, and investor complaint against companies and broker. One thing I just want to tell about Mr. Gopal Kishan Iyer, we call him as a friend Gopi. He's one of the most intelligent person in Bombay Stock Exchange and the Stock Exchange for various aspects of these compliances thing, and he has always solution ready with him for any problem. We welcome Gopalji for this program. Then we have Ms. Diyal Shah is a company secretary and compliance officer of Care Rating Limited. She has worked on various critical projects such as due diligence and advisory of new projects, including merger and acquisition, right issue, setting up subsidiary, transfer of business, selling of business, and at group level. She has been awarded with compliance 10 on 10, excellent performer in 2015. Neil, we welcome you. It is your first program. We welcome you for this program. Last, Mohini Vashne, she's a partner head, ESOP and Insider Law Services, corporate professional, and she was member of the committee. Savitri and Mohini was the member of the committee also, which formed, and Gopal Kishanji, they were member. So friends, the program structure is simple. First, I will request Sundarshan sir first to give a welcome address. After this, Mohini will give a presentation, brief presentation of this proposed amendment and the concept of this trading plan. Then we will take up the all seven major changes which has come out one by one. And first, I will request the regulator, Anand Das and Mr. Vijayan and Gopal Kishan Iyer, that they should tell us why they have brought out this consent and what problems they have faced. And then I will take on the industry prospect. First, I will take non-committee member, Ajay Agarwal, Geetika and Nihal Shah. And then committee member will give this point. The purpose of this program is simple, that each 7 points which SEBI has proposed in this, we want to discuss threadbare, and whatever issue, whatever points are there from anybody's side, we want to discuss, and we want to bring out some uniformity and unanimity. So when we are recommending to SEBI that these are the discussion which has come out, so they can include in their final documents when they are coming out. So this is the structure which we'll discuss, and the public is there. They can ask any question related to this. Friends, as you are aware, there's a marriage season going on, and so many people requested this is a very important program. Can you do after this? So we'll do again this program because it's a time-bound program, and up to 15 December, SEBI has asked the comments. So that's why we can't delay this program. Before commence today's webinar, I am just thrilled to announce that Corporate Professional will be celebrating its 20th anniversary. We are completing our 20th years on December 16, 2023. So to mark this milestone, we will hosting a virtual event on Saturday, December 16, 2023 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And I will request all the delegates and the participants the way they have. Thank you, Gopalji, for giving this. So this event will be there on 16th December, and so many people from here they will also be there. So in place of having a Friday webinar, first time we are breaking this rule. We will have program on Saturday, that is 16th, and that program will be for celebrating the milestone of 20 years. Now, over to you. I'll request Sundarshan sir to give inaugural address on this consultation paper. And sir, we are assuring you today we have studied a lot, and all 7 points, because everybody is here, regulator is here, stock exchange is here, and the committee member and non-committee member, industry is there. So we'll discuss each point that this is correct or something they want. So we will give you the concise document to you, which can be useful for your final decision, sir. Over to you, sir.
Good evening to all of you. Thank you, Mr. Pawan and Ms. Mohini, for regularly organizing this program and giving me the opportunity to join. I also wish all the panelists and also the participants for joining in these type of programs and then, contributing in the rule making by the regulator, not only by SEBI, but various other regulators. Today's topic is very, quite interesting in the sense SEBI made the insider trading regulations for the first time in 1992. The concept of trading plan was not envisaged in that. As Mr. Pawan pointed out, even in globally at that point of time, nobody had this concept of trading plan. Of course, over a period of time, few countries have attempted to adopt one model or the other. And based on the prevailing practices at that point of time in 2015, SEBI thought of introducing the concept of trading plan in the PIC regulations. The objective of this trading plan was that certain type of designated persons who are considered as perpetual insiders because of their position or privy to the UPSI, which gets generated from time to time in a corporate listed entity, they may or may not be able to trade at all. So there has to be a possibility or opportunity for them also to deal in the securities, because the shares might have been acquired as a ESOP or a rights issue or in whichever capacity. They must also be provided opportunity to buy or sell depending upon the position they have at a particular point of time. So with that objective, this concept of trading plan was introduced with the 7 specific provisions in the regulations, dealing with the time, how long the trading plan should remain, whether blackout period should be applicable or not, and what type of disclosures to be made, whether contract rate should be applicable or not. And then with these type of requirements, a concept was conceived and accordingly it was put in place. Now, as many of you may be aware, 2019, SEBI appointed one committee called Fair Market Conduct Committee to review certain provisions of PIC regulations as well as PFFUTP regulations. Now, if you see the recommendations in that committee, the committee consisted of almost 20 people from different walks of securities market, from lawyers, from merchant bankers, from stock exchanges, and many other people. Now, after when I was part of the committee and a lot of deliberations took place on this trading plan concept, unfortunately, no concrete proposal came, or a sort of urgency was shown at that point of time to modify the framework of trading plan, because even at that point of time, after lapse of 4 years since introduction, the number of plans which are available in the public domain, which is required to be disclosed on the stock exchange, was very, very handful. You can even count in your fingers how many plans were being adopted by the designated persons or KMPs or the insiders of many companies. So in 2019, there was an opportunity to review, but somehow it was missed out, because very surprisingly, when I was part of the committee and I was very eager that this framework would require modification, but no concrete proposal came, and therefore the committee recommended that the existing status quo will continue, and then there is no need for any modifications. Now, again, we all have a lot of lessons to learn from COVID. Now, COVID created a situation where people are losing jobs, people are asked to migrate, and so many things happened. So there was a need felt at that point of time. The trading plan option could have been used, but unfortunately, the framework was so rigid in many ways. If you're seeing the working group report, you will definitely understand and appreciate how rigid it was for many people to execute. So there was a need felt that it needs a relook. But then again, the discussion within the regulator was that 2 years back, 3 years back, we invited from the entire market, but nobody came with any concrete solution, and therefore will there be a possibility to review? In fact, it was like a challenge to us. But then, as usual, I am the one who always likes to take challenges. So I said my management, no problem. let us form a working group of, the people who are actually able to contribute to this, in the sense they are the top corporates where many people will be having ESOPs and many people will be willing to deal in their shares, but they may not be having the opportunity to give because of the rigidity in the existing framework. So we formed a working group, and the working group came out with totally, I can say that unexpected and wide-ranging, more or less making the framework so easily implementable. The full credit should be given to the working group members. Mr. Gopi is there. I'm sure Savitri will be hearing this, or wherever she is, or she may be joining, or Mogini was part of the team. And we had such a wonderful and meaningful discussion in the working group, and the report has been put on the SEBI website, where you will see that we have completely attempted to rewrite the entire framework, whether it is the cool-off period, whether it is the minimum coverage period, whether blackout period, contract trade application, disclosure requirements, timelines, format, everything we have addressed. And we have also very importantly introduced one concept of protecting people who are giving the trading plan from significant losses. Because during at least my interaction in the last 4 or 5 years with the market, since I'm handling this enforcement side of SEBI, the trading plan was not claimed to be successful because there was a mandatory requirement to execute the plan irrespective of what the market price is. And the period was so long, it was, hovering around 6 plus 12, 18 months. So suddenly COVID type of thing, or even some, like a Ukraine war, or this Israel-Palestine type of situation, the market moves so widely, and therefore people will have to, take a big hit if they give a trading plan. So we felt that some sort of a protection needs to be given, so that execution may not be made mandatory. So now in this new framework, we have included a price protection, in the sense that if there is a movement beyond 20%, you can opt out of the trading plan, provided you exercise the option at the time of giving the trading plan. So what we have attempted to do as part of the working group is to completely revamp the existing framework, make it more usable for the person who is expected to make use of it, and also at the same time make the life of the compliance officer easy. Because if you don't give specific the range of 20%, otherwise if you have multiple formulas to apply, then the compliance officer will be using a algorithm to decide the price and other things. So we make it as simple as possible, as usable as possible, and easy to understand. So we have felt that these changes will definitely encourage more people to use this trading plan, and then it will be very helpful for the industry as a whole. One more point which I would like to say is that every corporate of late, if you see, whether it is moving for the strategic purposes or capital raising purposes, generates more UPSI, and then because of this the media and the other things, the information also gets known to more people, whether we like it or not. So therefore, because UPSI being the fulcrum of this insider trading regulations, and anybody who by oversight or by ignorance, you get dealing that security when they were in possession of UPSI, it becomes a big issue. Therefore, there is a felt need to provide for a easy framework of trading plan. Keeping these two objectives in mind, we have come out with this discussion paper. I'm once again thankful to Mr. Pawan Kumar Vijay for taking this seminar, for taking this topic for this seminar, and trying to solicit views from the participants at large, so that in case we have missed out anything, or if there is any more clarity is needed, so that when we draft a regulation, we will be able to convey it. Because if you see, quick regulations is one which always carries a note after the regulation. That means the clear, not that other regulations do not have clarity. Here we are clearly, very specifically telling the intent of a particular word used in the particular regulation. So this will help us to, in case we have missed out, because at the end of the day, there were 7 or 8 people in the working group, plus SEBI people, 15 people have attempted to do this. But when we go to a larger audience, there is a possibility that the perception may be different. Or if you still feel there is a scope for further refinement, we are open to that. And I will be very thankful if fruitful discussion takes place and ideas come out. And if they are forwarded to SEBI, definitely SEBI will have an occasion to consider them. And then, if depending upon the feasibility of accepting that, we will take it forward. With this, I have 2 of my colleagues also in the panel. I will also be part of it most of the time, except for another 10-15 minutes. I have to move out for some work, but I will also come back and I will be part of it. And once again, Mr. Pawan, thank you for this opportunity, and looking forward to a fruitful discussion on this subject.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. And we are assuring you, after the program, whatever points and whatever suggestion will come, we will share with you, so you can come out one of the best paper related to this. So this is the object of this program. So now I will request Mohini to give give the brief introduction of this particular concept and topic. So we can, after that, we can take up all the recommendations of SEBI. Savitri, welcome.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. So as already the concept, Sundarshan sir and Pawan sir has already covered the entire history and the purpose behind this coming out with this consultation paper. So to set the further this discussion, so I'm just giving in brief about this entire trading plan concept. And then we can discuss on one-to-one the provisions, the proposed provisions which which the committee has come out for the discussion between the panel members. So to start with, so first is that in the insider trading regulations, if we just pick out the provisions, so it deals with and it covers almost these 12 to 15 basic terms. So like the contra trade, trading window closure, trading plan, pre-clearance, code of conduct, designated person, structured digital database, disclosures, key policies, violation, Chinese wall, and important one is the UPSI. So UPSI and the trading is linked, and that's the reason there is a one concept introduced, that is the trading plan. So to help this thing, so in the trading plan, if I go, so these are the basic concepts, and if UPSI and the person has traded, so in that case, it will be treated as a violation of a regulations, and the person can be guilty of insider trading. So in that case, what the penalties, generally the trading in the regulations has been set out. So in case the company first comes out to know that yes, the person has done a default and has engaged in the insider trading or any kind of disclosure default, traded during the trading window closure period or so. So the company can have the actions like wage fee, suspension, they can claw back the benefits they have given, and they can recover the profits which the person has earned. So this is the thing which the company can take. And in case, because of any reason, the person find be a guilty in the insider trading, then the regulatory actions are also there, like which can go up to 25 crore, 10 lakh will be the 25 crore to 10 lakh will be the penalty amount. The imprisonment can be done. And also one of the main important thing is now the person, if found guilty in any of the violation of the entire insider trading code of conduct, the company on an immediate basis has to declare it to the exchange as well. They have to submit a form wherein they need to mention that the person has defaulted so and so, and this provision has been violated by the person. So these are the things. If the person is found guilty or is any violation in the law, then the person has to face all these things. So this might be a challenge in those cases wherein we say that there are few people in the organization wherein every time they have something or other in their knowledge about the working of the company, wherein they can have an expansion plans, they have the financial results, because every quarterly they need to disclose the financial results. So these are the things which every time these few key employees have one or the other UPSI in their hand. Now, if they want to trade, so if they go into default, they have to face these challenges. But if they really want to trade, and it's not that they want to interplay and they want to enter into intra trade. For example, I say that if the person has received the ESOPs, now he want to make, and it's a part of a compensation, and he is in need of fund, or he really want to get the monetization of their compensation, then he not be able to, because he has to go undergo the pre-clearance and all. And whenever he is trying to attempt any trade, he has to first declare that I am not in possession of UPS. So what the easy way and easy channel or mechanism can be provided to them, so that they can also get some benefit or some remuneration, whatever they want to, a wealth creation part or something like that, they can do so. So there the concept of trading plan comes. So in this trading plan, it's like in the earlier in 1992, when originally this trading insider trading regulations were formed, there was no concept of trading plan. But in 2015 only this trading plan was introduced. And in this trading plan, this is basically the intention behind is that the certain class of insiders like senior management person, KMPs, who may be perpetually in possession of UPSI, and they are mostly involved in the decisions taken by the company, so they can get a mechanism, a regulated mechanism therein, wherein they can also trade. They buy and they sell the securities of their company. So this is the thing, and to facilitate this thing, the trading plan was introduced. What are the main provisions if I talk about in this trading plan? The provisions of the trading plan are in the law that the commencement of trading plan not earlier than 6 months from the public disclosure. That means a cool-off period of 6 months should be there. And the plan is to be planned for a period of minimum 12 months. That means today, when a person wants to give a trading plan, he has to wait for a 6 months period. Then he has to plan for the next 12 months, and almost 18 months period is there for which he is be giving a trading plan, where 12 months is the trading period. Then between this 12 month stretch period, there, wherever the quarterly window closures are coming, that period he needs to be excluded. That means he can't trade even during the trading plan, in the trading plan in these periods, because the length of the period is 12 months. So this is the thing which being there in the current provisions. Then whenever he is giving a trading plan, he has to give the value of the trades or the number of the securities he want to trade, even the nature of the trade. That means he wants to buy or sell, and the intervals and the dates at which he can trade. So he has to specify those things very clearly in the this trading plan. That means in 12 months he wants to trade in a particular month, or over the 12 months he wants to create an interval. So he has to give a very specifically on these aspects. Then whatever at the next one is that whatever he has given and planned for these 12 months, it is irrevocable. That means once he is submitted, and because it's been disclosed to the stock exchange, the person in any circumstance can't go back with this decision. And irrespective of whatever the situation he is, he has to mandatorily execute that trading plan. An example of trading plan, a sample trading plan is like this, that the people are submitting this type of trading plan, wherein they are giving the entire what the trade is, what the name is, what the designation of the person is, and again they are giving some disclosures and undertakings that he is not in possession of UPSI, whatever is in possession of UPSI, and he will trade only once the UPSI is over. So this is kind of a sample trading plan. Now, this in this trading plan also, there are few more provisions which we say that if I look into with the UPSI, because this trading plan concept introduced because and for those persons who are where we assume that in the they have perpetually in the possession of an UPSI. So if I relate with trading plan vis-a-vis UPSI, so how this thing have been tackled in this taken care of while designing the trading plan, that the cool-off period of 6 months being introduced, reason being that whatever, if at the time of designing the trading plan, if the person possesses some UPSI, so it is assumed that within a period of 6 months, when this trading plan actually starts working, by the time that UPSI is over, and if that UPSI is not over, then even in the existing provision, it's clearly written that he can't start his trading plan execution. So it's being tried even in the existing provisions that the UPSI will be the trading on the basis of UPSI can be taken care of. So this is the thing in this. Now the definitely the law in the regulations, it's been clearly set out that there should not be misused through this trading plan, but still because of some regulations or some inherent, we can say, the challenges, administrative challenges or the planning challenges are there, through because of which the existing issues erupt in the adoption of the trading plan, which already been discussed by Pawan sir, that privacy and security concerns are there. Monitoring is a challenge. Then the complex regulatory requirements are there. Then the limited flexibility is there in trading plan because trading window restrictions are there. Then the person, if rigid timelines are there, they have to mandatorily execute. And also there is a lack of clarity in reporting and disclosures. So there are few challenges we perceive that because of which the trading plan is not so much be adopted by the corporates. The basic out of all the entire issues, we think that the two are the important one, wherein the long lifespan, because the person today have to foresee for a 12 months period, or and it's not 12. Today, when you are sitting for almost 18 months time period, he has to see what I want to trade and whether I want to sell, whether I want to purchase. So this is a long time span period for the person to think it of for the trading, considering the present market situations and the economic and political situations all over the world. And the next one is that once he is given, because he is foreseeing for an almost in 1.5 year, so mandatorily he needs to execute. So these are the two majorly things wherein because of that, basically the things comes key whether this training plan can be the provisions can be relooked or so. So these are the figures. Even in the committee report, this figures are being there that if you see over the last 5 years, so out of the 5,000 listed companies almost, and more than 25,000 or so, 2 lakh, more than 2 lakh of designated person or so out of in the entire, if all the listed companies are we compare. So only the almost, these are very 2-digit negligible number. It's not more than even the 70 that the trading plans have been received. So considering a ratio of 2 lakh and 70, it's a minuscule and it's negligible numbers already. So considering that, the working group was constituted in July and under the leadership of Sundarshan sir. And after deliberating a period of almost 2 months, the report was submitted, and wherein the changes are being recommended. And the proposed changes are like the cool-off period. So the minimum cool-off period has been reduced, and then the minimum coverage period also reduced. The blackout, because earlier for the mandatory trading window closure period, the person can't trade even during the trading plan. So that conditions also been done away with. Then to protect the insider from the significant adverse price fluctuation, which is coming from the mandatory execution of trading plan. So a price limit has been has been included in this proposed regulations. Then because it's for a very shorter time period, the person is now planning. So contra trade restrictions, which was earlier not there. So it's being enforced in this trading plan period as well. Then the format of reporting of trading plan is being discussed, wherein the name of the person who is giving the trading plan, on that masking issue, the privacy concerns and the privacy issues being long deliberated, and few options have been also in the report has been given to the public, that they can also provide their insight on that, how the masking can be and privacy issues can be dealt with. So we think that it's a welcoming step, and it ensure that in the free regulated environment, trading by insiders, now this new trading plan provisions, if come into force, that will help. So this is from my side, and then Pawan sir, over to you. We can start one by one discussion on the proposed provisions.
Thank you very much, Moini, for this. Now, the proposal is before us. So, what will the structure will be like this? This is a one. I'm just giving one example, so everybody will be clear. This is cool-off period. So, in the cool-off period, the current provision is to get the benefit of a trading plan. A cool-off period of 6 months is necessary. Now, this is a proposed change. The minimum cool-off period between disclosure of trading plan and implementation of trading plan will be reduced to 4 months from 6 months. Now, this is the proposal from in the consultative paper. So first, I will ask the regulator, Mr. Anand Das and Mr. Vijayan, and then Gopal Kishan ji, that what is the purpose of this reduction and why they have come out. And then I will go to the industry person, this Ajay Agrawal ji and Nehal and Geetika, that do you think this is sufficient? If you have any other point, you can suggest. And then I'll ask Savitri and Mohini if they want to add some point, because they were the committee member. So certain issues which the industry is asking, you must have discussed. So first, Ananya sir, I will start with you. This 6 months to 4 months reduction, why you have introduced this 4 months? What was the reason, and how you see it will be useful for the industry? That's it.
In existing framework, we found that it is not so popular trading plan, because for insider, he has to look forward for a very long period. So if you add cooling period, and the trading plan period is almost 18 months.
Yeah.
And due to the dynamic and uncertain nature of the securities market, it's very difficult to plan for such a long period. See, idea was that this 6 months was framed in 2015 when it was thought it's a reasonable period when your UPSI becomes PSI. So it is publicly available. So committee went into deliberated on this, and they came out with it reduced it to 4 months, because that is a period of 1 quarter plus 1 month during which the financial results are declared. Generally, it takes 1 month from the end of the quarter. So that is why this 4 months was arrived at.
Okay, Vijayan sir, you have any point on this?
Yeah, sir has already explained in detail about why this 6 months has been reduced to 4 months. Basically, taking into account 1 month, 1 quarter plus 1 month times. Okay. Gopalji, do you think that this reduction, because you are getting the trading plan, the insider is submitting to the stock exchange. So do you think that this reduction will help, or this 6 months to 4 months will help?
Yeah, definitely this shortening of time periods is definitely going to help, because now the period that the insider would consider will be a shorter period, rather than looking at a very long period, long-term period for on any future events that may affect his his decision. And like the regulators have said, yes, the 4 months, 6 months to 4 months have been shortened, also considering that generally within this period of time, the UPSI would get published. So we need to, and basic intent as has been put out by Sundaresan sir also. This is to encourage people to take benefit of this regulations, and as we have seen in the data, which is showing that there has been very low acceptance over a period of time. So this is basically to encourage people to adopt these plans and take advantage of this. So 4 months was considered a reasonable time, considering that within that period of time, it was felt that generally an UPSI would become public.
Okay. Now, this is the view of regulator. Now I'm coming to the industry. So Ajayji, I will start with you. What is your view that 4 months is sufficient? And now they have reduced 6 to 4 months. Is it sufficient? Or as a compliance officer, as a person who has to submit and the people are asking you, is it okay? So first Ajayji, then Geetka, and then Nehal will give answer on this. So you give your prospects that whether this time period is sufficient or something should be changed. Over to you, Ajayji.
Thank you, Pawanji. First of all, I would like to thank Sundaresan sir and you for inviting me to this seminar, because these seminars are very important, these webinars, because it shares the knowledge, and knowledge sharing is one of the most important aspects in our profession. As regards this question, 4 months, yes, this should be very helpful, because 6 months was a very long period. 4 months is the right period by which your immediate quarter ending results would be out, and whatever UPSI view which you have for 1 quarter, because as though it can be assumed that you have a UPSI for the entire year, you have a projected account. But 1 quarter is more than enough to have these UPSI angle out. So I think 4-month period is an attractive proposition.
Okay. Geetika, this 4 months, why 4 months? Why not it should reduce? Because you must have received, there are only 30 or 35 trading plans submitted in the stock exchange. So you have so many insider in your company also. They are also having information, but they have not submitted trading plan or they have not traded. So what is your view? Is this 4 months is sufficient or something should be changed?
No, frankly, good afternoon, everyone. Frankly, this is a very welcome change from 6 months to 4 months. And purely from a perspective point of view, I was looking at global practice, and I saw US has a cooling period of 90 days. And it's not just 90 days, I said either 90 days or the second business day after declaration of that entity's quarterly results for the quarter in which the trading plan was disclosed. So just to give an illustration, I was just making it as I read it, is that assume I would have given it in the month of any of the months of April, May, June, my results would have got declared either in the month of July or August. And uske second business day onwards, my cooling period goes off. I am unable yet to lay my hands on why do they have something like this, which is second business day after this thing. And this is purely from a curiosity point of view. I'm nowhere trying to hint at that we could look there, but from 6 to 4 is a very welcome change. I think it captures most of the usual parameters that we want to set from a sensitive information, UPSI, insider trading, internal controls point of view. But yeah, that's the only curiosity point of have, and I will obviously go back and read and give you my counter views if I get them.
Okay. Nehal, do you think this 4 months is sufficient?
So I also echo my previous panelists that it definitely indeed a welcoming change, reducing a 6 months to 4 months. But at the same time, insider or a KMPs or MDCO kind of a people who always have a 2 kind of UPSI, one is a short term and one is a long term. I doubt whether they will able to draw a trading plan, because they're always into the perpetual possession of UPSI with ongoing various transactions. So I'm not sure to what extent, even though you reduce this to 4 months, it will help them to implement or design something like this. So of course, it has to test the water in practical aspect as and when it gets rolled out.
Okay. Savitri, now you were the members, you and Mohini. So why this 4 months is sacrosanct? Why not it is 3 months or 90 days, which Geetika just now told, which is in USA? So can you give highlight that why you have suggested this 4 months thing? Savitri? Mohini, in the meantime, Savitri joining, you just tell. Yeah, Savitri is coming. Yeah, Savitri.
Sorry. So according to me, first of all, very good afternoon, and thank you, Pawan, for inviting me to this panel. And I must also mention that initially when we started this discussion, and I'm sure Mohini would also share the same views. And when we initially started discussions on trading plan, I thought it would possibly just have take maybe 1 or 2 meetings, but the kind of discussions that we had with respect to trading plans, the detailed analysis of each of these points, we had several points before us which we discussed. Coming back to the question of 4 months, I think it's a right period because 4 months would mean that the quarter during which the disclosure is made, the results for that particular quarter would already be out in public domain. And thereafter, you're giving a period of 2 months for completing the transaction. So from a 18-month cycle, you're actually reducing the whole thing to 6 months, which is certainly a welcome change. And persons who are permanently in possession of UPSI, there may be multiple UPSIs which may have different periods. Then yes, there may be an issue, but otherwise the UPSI which you were in possession of, if it's already in public domain, then there is absolutely no issue, and the person would have given the trading plan. And if there is a new UPSI which comes into being after the trading plan is given, there's absolutely no bar in giving effect to the trading plan. So overall, I would say it's a welcome change.
Okay. Mohini,
Can I add something to Mr. Pawan?
Yes, sir. You.
Regarding the short-term and long-term UPSI, as I said in my inaugural session address also, today we are all living in fast food life. No information remains as a UPSI. I don't think beyond 2 months or 3 months, because the things, in the earlier days, your proposal is brought, then people have to travel from one place to another to have a discussion, and then the so-called long-term UPSI and all was there. Today, as Savitri pointed out, any UPSI which is born on, say, first of a month, I don't think it becomes as a UPSI beyond 6 months. I mean, 6 months itself, in my opinion, is too long. Today, less than 3 months, the matter comes to see in some of the cases where we have said that it was still a UPSI, many entities have taken a recourse, and also judicial pronouncements have come in their favor to the extent that the moment it is flashed in the media, the moment it gets reported in the newspaper, in a widely circulated thing, all those things considered as if it has become public. It has not been considered no longer as UPSI. Therefore, though a particular plan which has been envisaged as a strategic plan by a company may not have been consummated fully, it loses its identity as a UPSI in 3 to 6 months time. And I'm again repeating, 6 months itself is too long a time. So the concept, short term, long term, in today's situation, I feel that it gets subsumed in the period of 6 months.
Okay. So I think this is a unanimous decision for all the panelists, and the regulator side is also very clear. One question is there: what is the average period in which a trading plan can be executed after proposed changes? Anyone?
See, cooling off period is 4 months. After that, trading plan can be executed.
Okay.
So
So,
almost a 4 plus 2, that means 6 months is now
Plus
the, and the 2 months is the training plan.
okay. Okay. So now the second question is connected question. That is, please change the slide. Now, the second recommendation is, this is 523. Trading plan shall entail trading for a period of not less than 12 months. And now SEBI is proposing the coverage period requirement may reduce to 2 months from 12 months. So this is a drastic changes, 12 months to 2 months. So Das sir, what was the reason that suddenly the 12 months reduced to 2 months, and how this will help?
Again, for planning something, this 12 months is too long a period. Somebody cannot decide for, say, 6 months hence he wants to trade at what price, because market is so dynamic. So, and we have seen it's not been popular. So it was desirable to reduce it. Reduce to why 2 months and why not 1 month or 3 months? So 2 months thought to be reasonable. It gives a sufficient look forward. Beyond that, it will be a too long a period. That was the idea.
Okay. Vijayan sir, in a committee meeting must be some issues has come. So you have done some research also that 12 months should be reduced to 2 months.
For reducing this period from 12 months, this is it was considered to be a very longer period for any investor to plan his trades. Already there is a 6 months ka cool off period. So again, 12 months ka trading period ke liye they have to decide in advance. So it was considered to be very longer period. So that's why the committee thought of reducing it to a reasonable period, which had come to 2 months. Already we have reduced the cool off period to 4 months from the 6 months.
Okay. Gopalji, when companies were interacting with you and they were not submitting this trading plan, or they were not doing this type of thing, so they have recommended this particular thing, or you think that now more and more trading plan will be submitted to the stock exchange after reduction of 12 months to 2 months? Okay, because this is a issue connected to first one. So if there is any point, Geetika, Ajay ji and Nehal, if any point which you want to add other than this, that this is something should change or something, or this is a correct step, so we can move further.
I can come in and I can say, I mean, at least this is one of my favorite proposed amendments of the entire thing. I can already see Savitri ma'am smiling, but this is my favorite of all of the lot, purely because I think this is that one amendment that will address the real requirement for which a trading plan had come in the first place. The efficacy of the trading plan will change because of this. I believe if someone really understands this amendment along with the entire paper, you can actually have disciplined trading in companies. And that to me is the real outcome of what was intended in the first place. 2 months is a good short time for someone to envisage what they want to do. At the same time, for the companies, I believe it's also a balanced approach where I can understand the person is not doing anything. Yes, when I'm looking at it as a insider, this will foster disciplined trading. When I look at it from a compliance officer point of view, yes, I've already started thinking on the kind of changes or shifts I would make in on my own internal control mechanism to address this. For example, the awareness that I would want people to have, what will be their to-dos and to not to-dos if it's a 2-month period. At the same time, building up the awareness checks, or what do you say, the control checks to ask a person's manager whether this person is giving me this trading plan basis a UPSI or not. Because 2 months, yes, is good for a disciplined trading, but also foreseeable future, a project that you have started, you know, ke 2 mahine mein ho jayega, you can anticipate those things. So therefore, while 2 months is a short period and encourages trading plans, it also can lead to, you know, people planning out stuff. So how to cut that out is a compliance officer's job. That's where I feel a little more happily challenged. But this is my favorite provision of the entire paper.
Okay. Ajay ji, you want to add anything?
Don't think so that there is any issue. It is a very welcome step.
Okay. Neil, if
No,
there's
it's absolutely quite welcoming change. No further comments on this.
Savitri, any additional point which you think in the committee meeting that dwelt upon, which people have a confusion or people will think differently?
There's this point on contra trade,
You have to
which
unmute
was
yourself.
discussed in detail, and
Savitri, your voice.
yeah,
Now it's okay.
okay, fine. So there was this point on contra trade which was discussed in detail, and we had a very detailed discussion. In fact, we had a very detailed discussion on several points, one of which was on contra trade, and that has also been very well covered in the consultation paper. And this is one which could be tested very clearly to see as to whether there are any concerns of the participants on this particular point. Because after a lot of discussion and debate, the working group came to this conclusion that the contra trade should not be permitted when you give a trading plan, because we've anyways reduced the period from 18 months to just 6 months, and therefore if you go by the spirit of insider trading regulations, in any case contra trade is not permitted within 6 months, so therefore it was felt that it should not be permitted. However, having said that, if there is a genuine requirement, then there's a permission which can be granted by the compliance officer. But that's, of course, a general one which is available even otherwise.
Okay, so it means now the 18 months period has reduced to 6 months in a practical way,
Right?
Including 6 months to 12 months, that is 18, now reduced to 4 to plus 2. Okay.
Yes.
So, Listen, sir, you want to add anything in this? Okay. So now these are the two simple questions. Now come to the tougher one. The next is blackout period. So this is the current provision. Trading plan not entail trading for a period of between the 12th trading day prior to the last day of any financial period, for which results are required to be announced by the issuer of the security and the second trading day after the disclosure of such financial result. The requirement of blackout period in trading plan may be done away with this. So, Anand Das sir, this particular thing you have realized, but when the law came first time, then so many permutation and combination we have come out with last day of financial period and 12th, 20th trading day. All these things, because it's a well captured point. Now we want to done away with this. What is the reason and how it will helpful?
This clause was there when your trading restriction period was not there. Trading restriction period came later on.
Okay.
And the trading restriction period started from, actually that period was from the last day of quarter to the declaration of. So already there's some divergence between these two. Secondly, now when the entire period has been reduced, and if you have this provision again, then there will be hardly any time for an insider to plan his trades. And the cooling off period actually captures more or less this period. This is the study was done by the committee that it is more or less will be covering this period, and UPSI, most of the UPSI may not remain UPSI during this or within this cooling off period. So with that in mind, this provision has been done away with.
Okay. Vijayan sir, any additional point which you want to add?
No, I think sir has already covered this detailing.
Okay. Gopalji, do you think this was a cumbersome process which now SEBI has removed? So it will helpful for the
Absolutely. As I told you that the main objective of this working group was to make it I mean, to enable implementation of this. So all those impediments which were there, I mean, which restricted or which actually provided a very small window for the insider to trade. We looked at that and then how to ease out the compliance. So this is definitely a welcome, deletion. Yeah.
Nehal, do you think this is a good sign and it will helpful to more trading plan will submit?
Yes, definitely. The more ease of implementing the plan, better it is for the insider. And this is, of course, the earlier restrictions wasn't serving any kind of purpose, actually speaking, because now you anyway have to hold it for 6 months, right? So I think it's quite good. It's going to be the friendly one, yeah.
Okay, Geetika.
Same, I agree with whatever has been said, except that we've completely eliminated it. So compliance officers, unless we kind of build enough safeguards, this can lead to misuse. But
So
that risk always existed.
No, how? Because today, if you think this is a risk, then what types of risk so SEBI can plug this?
No, but I don't think this is for SEBI to plug.
No, even SEBI to plug mean the company should also, CEO, the compliance officer should also take care. So what warning you want to give?
No, see, one is looking at all of this purely from a trading point of view. But the biggest angle that I've always felt is a connection between ESOP and insider trading. People like to exercise ESOPs, and exercise of ESOP is out of this entire purview. But some of them do it because they want to use the funds to sell it out again, do a reverse transaction, to do something. Planning that entire cycle, use of the funds that they may get from ESOP. I know I'm complicating this, which is why I said this is not for SEBI to loop, but for us. Because when a senior officer comes to me and he says, I want to exercise my ESOP so that I can use the money, sell it off after 6 months and use the money to do this, उसपे contra trade नहीं लगता, तो he can sell off. But the moment I say he's given a trading plan and basis that he's doing something and there is a blackout period, I need to merge all these provisions and then give the awareness. So I'm saying it's for the compliance officer to create that kind of internal awareness so that it doesn't lead to, I mean, one thing doesn't lead to another non-compliance. That's the point I was trying to mention.
Okay, Ajay ji, your point as a compliance officer, what problem?
Pawanji, according to me, this is the best change that has happened in the entire trading plan, because now an insider can even sell the shares during a closed period. But only what in future we have to see how does the regulator view it. Suppose you have made some announcement, and prior to the announcement, 1 or 2 days before the announcement, the CEO or the MD has sold shares pursuant to a trading plan. I don't know how the regulator would view it in future, though there is a trading plan.
Okay. So, Geetika, Savitri, now Geetika has raised this point of misuse. So, in a committee meeting, have you seen this?
Possible misuse.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah.
We are here because when you are making anything, you cover 95%, 90%. 5% scope is always there for anything. So, do you think, Savitri, what Geetika is saying is possible, or how to plug that, how to solve this problem?
So, well, I would say that, is it completely impossible? Answer probably would be no, because whatever we could foresee, we felt it was not reasonably possible. And I would say this because even presently, there is a requirement for the compliance officer to approve the trading plan. And when the compliance officer approves the trading plan, it's not whether the person is in possession of UPSI or not, which is going to be seen. If the person is in possession of UPSI, the duration which is reasonably anticipated will certainly be asked, and let's assume that is not an issue. But if the trading is going to be during the normal trading window closure period, one would just typically check as to whether there is any possibility of any market abuse. If there is none, then the approval would be given. So actually, at the stage when the compliance officer is going to be approving the trading plan, there is a control check which will be required. And post that, of course, the person who's actually giving the trading plan is also going to be equally responsible for giving something which is truthful. And what has been done is the regulatory situation has taken into account various scenarios, and they've all been put together so as to make the provisions with respect to trading plan easy to implement, if I may use the term easy to implement.
Okay. Moini, you have any additional point?
No, sir. Only the thing to add is that considering the UPSI, which generally all the listed companies have, which are the financial results. So this trading period, this provision be deleted, considering because it's a 4 months and then the 2 months. So almost first quarter is coming in the cool off period. In the next quarter, 2 months is falling, and wherein the consolidation is not happened. So considering the financial result as well, so this will help he is not aware of where the results will go, so he can trade. Second is that the law has already a provision wherein definitely the compliance officer and the person who has to execute this trading plan. The provision is that if he is in the possession of UPSI today, and when he is giving this trading plan, and when it's going to start this trading plan, and that UPSI is not the PSI, then he can't start that trading plan execution. So might be that can be a check which can control this cool off period or for this.
Okay. This is one question on the blackout period. If the blackout period related provision are done away with, can insider trade during closure of trading window as per the trading plan? The trading window restriction are not applicable to trading plan. So, Savitri or Das sir, anybody can give answer.
Yes, it is possible because 522 is proposed to be deleted once the amendments are brought into effect, assuming they move exactly the way it's been recommended. In that case, yes, during trading window closure period, an insider would be entitled to deal in the securities of the company because you would have given the details beforehand.
Okay, this is the same question whether trades can be made during the period of mandatory trading window closure for declaration of financial result if the same falls during the span of trading plan. Das sir, is it possible?
Yes, it will be possible. If there's a trading plan, there would be no restriction of trading window closure.
Okay.
To the financial results.
Okay.
However, I would also like to add that one will need to take into account the specific situation just in case the person was aware of something, then that will be a questionable point. Otherwise, technically, is it possible? Answer is yes. Let's say, for example, a person in senior management position in marketing who has no access to financial results has given a trading plan, wants to sell during trading window closure period, no problem whatsoever.
Okay. Okay. Now, we have dealt with the question which was very simple. Now, the most complicated portion and the most complicated discussion has taken place in the committee also. This is price limit flexibility. As you are aware that earlier, what was the things? The insider shall have flexibility during formulation of trading plan. Earlier, this condition was not there. If you have given a trading plan, compulsorily you have to trade, and there was no flexibility also. And suppose the price has gone down, so you can decide that I will not do. So earlier plan you have given, whether rate up or down, you have to do it. So now this is the new proposal has come, which is the beneficiary for the insider. And this is a very welcome and very important point, but it has so many questions also. So the insider shall have flexibility during formulation of trading plan to provide price limit upper price limit for buy trades and lower price limit for sell trade. Such now this is one part, but the question is what should be the price limit? So they came out with such price limit shall be within plus minus 20% of the closing price or the date of submission of trading plan. So the closing price of that the day you are submitting. If price of security during execution is outside the price limit set by the insider, the trade shall not be executed. We have a flexibility to avoid this. If no price limit is opted in trading plan, maybe if no price limit is opted for this, trade has to be undertaken irrespective of the prevailing price. So now this is the plan you have given, and you have given the price limit also plus minus 20%. So, sir, now this is the one issue which I think the committee has discussed. Threadbare and so many issues came up. So, what is your point of view, which you have recommended 20% plus and minus?
So actually, the 20% like commit, the working group looked into various options, whether high-low, historical price based on which future price can be set. After considering so many options, the working group felt that it has to be simple. It should not be complicated. So this 20% it came in because that is the kind of price band in the market currently is, and this is a kind of this price limit is a kind of a regulatory price limit been set. Now, for an insider can set his price limits within these limits. So, for an example, the current price is 1,000 rupees, and he is planning to set a price limit. He can, if he's selling, because this provision provides a protection from losses. So he can set a price anything between the current price, which is 1,000, and minus 20% of the current price, which is 800. So he can set at 950 and say that if the prices goes below, he can revoke his trade, and if it is prices remains above 950, he has to execute. So this provides, actually always the grievance was once you give a trading plan, he cannot revoke, and if and he has to execute even if there's an economically disadvantageous position owing to market movement, market conditions, etc. So this gives him an option that he can get out of the trade if the prices are, in case of sell, below the limit, in case of buy, above the limit.
Okay. So, Vijayan sir, you want to add anything else, addition?
Yes, sir. Actually, on this point, as far as the current trading plan as it stands now, it's considered this is one of the what we call as a disadvantage or a drawback, that once a trading plan is given, it's irrevocable. You can't change the trading plan, or you can deviate from the trading plan. So this is one of the reasons maybe thought about that the trading plan is not that favored. So to address this issue, we try to consider various options, just like sir was saying that previous 6 months ka high-low variation and various nearly 5 to 6 combinations we tried. We got back data from exchanges and all. We tried to do all the permutation combination, and finally we thought we need not do such too much complications with it. It should be simple for as far as a reasonable investor is concerned. It should be easy for him to give a plan and easy for him to calculate and all. So that is why this percentage of 20% was decided, and this is not a sacrosanct number. This will be reviewed at periodical basis, so this may go up or down on periodical basis. So this percentage is given to protect the investors from unfavorable price fluctuations. Either it shouldn't, if a person has given a buy trade in his plan, suddenly the price keeps on going upward. So, and given that it is irrevocable, so he shouldn't be liable for losses. So, to prevent extreme losses, so a reasonable percentage was thought to be fixed. So we had arrived at this 20% up or down, depending on whether he is placing a buy trade or sell trade. This percentage he should be fixing at the time of giving his trading plan. So the day prior to the trading plan is given, what is the trade price or market price? From that, 20% up or down will be calculated. If at the time of executing this trade, if the limit is exceeded, then you would not be able to execute that trade. If a person is, as mentioned in the slide itself, if he opts out of giving, I'm not giving any percentage, then at that point of execution, you should be ready to buy or sell whatever be the market price. So that is the background of this particular point in time. At this point, I would like to bring in my colleague if he is online. I'm not sure, Mr. Atul Mittal. Atul, if you are there online.
Yeah, Atul is there.
Yeah, if you have anything to add on to it.
Atul, you want to add anything?
I don't think
you just inform him, so I will take him.
You can continue with that.
Yeah. So Gopalji, now in the stock market, every day we are seeing 20% circuit, 10%, and the share price is moving 45, 40, 60, 70%. So do you think this 20% will be workable?
Well, this is now that you have been given the flexibility to provide trading plans. Okay. So if this is not going to work, because if it is going to be beyond the limit, then you can provide one more trading plan. See, that is the flexibility that it allows, though it cannot overlap with the existing trading plans. So if you were to see that this is going to move and it has moved, or you have a reasonable expectation that if you want to buy and it is not within this limit, then obviously you will not be able to execute that plan, but you can submit another trading plan. So there has to be a limit. See, the limit, why this limit has been brought out is very clear, that it also provides the flexibility not to execute a trade. Unlike in the earlier case, you had to mandatorily exit at whatever price that was existing at the time you have indicated in the trading plan. So this at least gives you a flexibility to walk out of the execution.
So this is very interesting point which you have mentioned. Does sir, it means I have submitted a plan with 20% and then I want to submit another plan because the price has gone change or something else? I can do it?
No, two plans cannot overlap. So the first plan has to lapse and then only the second plan will.
Okay. So now, Ajayji, you have certain issues relating to this price limit flexibility. So what is your point, which you think that this will be a problem? Over to you, Ajayji. Then Geetika and Nail, you ready with your point?
Pawanji,
yeah.
Pawanji, according to me, this is the most important point for in the entire trading plan, because why a person want to trade in shares? To earn something or to raise money or to, since the ESOPs or shares are a part of his compensation, to have his compensation be in his hand rather than in the paper. See, how I have understood this change, there is some certain, maybe my understanding is also wrong. So if suppose my understanding is wrong, SEBI people or Savitri can rectify that. What it says, suppose I say I wish to sell 10,000 shares of XYZ Limited, whose current price on the date of submission of the trading plan is 1,000 rupees. So I can say I can sell at suppose 1,150 rupees. Then it is okay. 11. I cannot say I can sell at. I wish to sell at more than 1,200 rupees. First point is that. Second point, what it says, even if the price goes below 1,000 rupees, which is today's date, and if it is around 840 or 50, I have to compulsorily sell these shares, because it says 20% ceiling. 20% ceiling. If I am selling the shares, if it is today's 1,000 rupees, then 800 rupees. What somebody told me, if I can write a trading plan to say I want to sell 1,000 shares, or only if the share price exceeds 1,200 rupees, that is above 20%, then it is perfect. But in other scenarios, no, it is not perfect. Second issue is, if there are corporate actions during that period of 6 months, suppose a merger happens, or a right issue comes, or some other corporate action happens, or a subdivision happens, then whether the trading plan, share price, and other thing would get automatically adjusted. These are the two issues I have.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, can I just give a clarification on this? I think the intent behind introducing this price limit, or the explanation which has been given here in the trading plan, this price limit, is that it's not the plus minus percentage for every trade. That means for buy, you need not to give a plus and the minus both. And even in the sell, there is no plus and minus both. Because it's being introduced to protect the insider from the loss. So when I am giving a trading plan for the buy, so it's the protection from the loss, that if it goes beyond this plus of 20%, then to restrict that loss, you can revoke, okay, I will not do, because if it goes beyond 1,200, for example. And similarly, in the sale case, if it is up more than present price, for example, today is 1,000, and if it's 1,500, you are free to sell. Only to restrict, to curb the loss, if it goes minus 200, that is 800, to protect that thing, the minus 20% is there. So it's not that
so
for every
Mohini, that's the issue.
Plus minus.
Mohini, that is the issue. If suppose I want to sell these shares, I have a trading plan. I have exercised my stock option at 1,000 rupees. When the share market was 15, I have paid a FMB, I have paid a perquisite tax on that also. Now I say I will sell 5,000 shares. Now, if suppose the share price goes beyond 17%, it is 17% only. It has not fallen below 20%. Then what this trading plan says, if my share price has fallen 17%, I have to sell the shares.
Yes.
So if I have to sell the mandatory...
Just to give a clarity, actually, as Mohini madam said, it is not the limit in the sense no positive, negative. It is kind of ceiling and floor. So for sell, you can set, because it is only giving a protection. So protection from the current price. Suppose you say, no, I do not want to sell below 1,000. You can do that, because it said from 1,000 rupees to 20% below 1,000. You can set your, say, floor at any of this point. You can say that I will not sell below 1,000. If it is above 1,000, I'll sell. So if the prices remains below 1,000, you need not execute your trade.
Okay, sir. So what you are saying, then I can say, if today this share price is 1,000, I can say I will not sell below 1,150 because 1,200 is my ceiling. Can I say that?
No, you cannot say that. It is only protection. So you cannot give a signal to the market, this would be the price.
That's right.
In the sale trade, you can't say, you can't set a higher price. You can set a lower price to protect.
the price.
Okay.
So that's the issue. My entire the point is that I wish to sell after 6 months. I have exercised a stock option. Because of that means my minimum price maybe is more than today's when I'm submitting the trading plan. It is equivalent to that. So what I gain after 6 months? Because then I say I will not sell below today's price. That much I can say.
Yes,
So then
that you can say.
So basically, this particular provision, let's understand the rationale behind it. This particular provision, as has also been explained by Mr. Das as well as by Mohini, is that it's basically a safety net that you're giving. During the pandemic, let's assume a person had given a trading plan and the price had plummeted to 50%, or where the trading plan was given and the price of the scrip had gone up by more than 50%, it would have actually been difficult. So therefore, what actually is being provided, if it is a buy trade, then you are basically saying that I will not buy unless it is within this price range. Or if it is sell, let's say today the price is 1,000, the point that we've been discussing, you are taking a decision to sell looking at today's closing price. Therefore you're saying up to, maximum up to 20%. It is up to you. You might even say 1,000 only, because that is the closing price, saying that if it is below 1,000 you will not sell, which is absolutely fine. But if it is more than 1,000, you will necessarily have to sell. Let's assume it is 1,020, you will have to sell, because you've taken a decision to sell considering today's price and not a futuristic one. You cannot consider a futuristic position with respect to a sell transaction. Similarly, with respect to a buy transaction, you can say given today's price, not more than 20%. But you cannot give an indication, as was also mentioned. If you say that only if the price is over 1150, you are then kind of saying that the market is likely to go over 1150, which is the reason you've given that. And hence, that is not permitted.
Savitri, now you considered with regard to, see, for a normal transaction or buy sale, I can understand. This is
Right.
the perfect, and this should be the way it is only. But when an employee exercises a stock option and he wishes to encash his stock options after a period of 4 months or 6 months, then this may be an issue.
Okay.
Because if I have to sell after 6 months at today's price, if I have a safety net of today's price after 5 months or after 5.5 months, then what I am saying, if for 5.5 months, if I have exercised it through a loan in 5 and 5% and 6% of the entire price, I will pay as interest, and I won't be gaining anything. Eventually, that 6% interest which I am paying to my lenders, who has given me fund to exercise those options, that would be my issue. So my issue is that from a ESOP perspective, SEBI or the regulator has to see how we can carve out certain parameters in a trading plan for the ESOP purposes.
Okay.
Okay.
I heard you, Ajay, made a note of it. I think that's a good point. Let's see if there is a separate situation, and I'm sure the regulators will also be able to consider it.
Savitri, I think we can hear certain points and certain intricacies. We can discuss this point. Geetika and Nehal, you have any point on this?
Yes, I do have a couple of them.
Yeah.
So first is, of course, the 20% looks to me is very, very small number, because we have seen a huge volatility over the last 3 to 4 years. So my suggestion could be, okay, it's a personal suggestion, is that if we can make it this as an optional, not as a mandatory item, number one. Number two, if it is a mandatory, then can we have a range, like say 20 to 30% or 40%, something like that. Depends. Each script moves differently across the market, large cap, mid cap, and small cap. So possibly, some of the nuances can be built up over a period of time to begin with. Then for ESOP, as Mr. Ajay also said, right, if we can have some caveat or some kind of a different provision or kind of an exemption actually in this category, or with an example, it can be explained better that if someone has exercised ESOP at certain price, then how we can kind of, ensure that he or she is not at disadvantaged situation. And yeah, these are some of the points I have it actually speaking. Yeah.
Okay. Geetika, you have any point on this?
Frankly, nothing more in addition to what Ajayji and Nehal said. But I actually have my doubts on few of the points they have made, which I'll take up separately. Because to me, if I continue on the 1,000 wala example where, and I'm going back on the point that everyone is mentioning here, that it's a safety net. It is not the minimum and the maximum price, which means that it only protects my risk either for the price going down or above to that extent. But anything which is outside the safety net, I'm still supposed to do the transaction. I think the exceptions here, fundamentally the exceptions here that are being talked about, it could be any which is given here. Net, what it is saying is that even beyond the safety net, give me an option to not do the transaction under certain circumstances. I think if we are able to illustrate those examples, the job will be done. But I don't have a different point of view on the plus or minus 20%.
Okay, I can simplify this. Das sir, when we say plus minus 20%, so the issue is coming that you are saying this is a safety net. So suppose I'm taking example of 1,000 rupees and I can sell up to 800. This safety net is up to 800 rupees. That is one understanding. And second understanding is suppose the price is 900 rupees. I have to execute that transaction.
No, if you have given your price limit as 800 rupees, yes, you have to execute. If you have given 1,000, you need not execute.
That's the problem.
Okay.
These illustrations they are given in the report of the working committee, which is part of this consultation paper.
Okay. Okay.
The table is given with
somebody, if he is desperate to sell at a price lower than this, so that is why it has been given.
Okay. Okay.
In fact, maybe when I think more, and I will think more on this one more specifically, is that assume, just आपने example दिया Pawan sir, you've given a sell example. There is a buy example also. In buy, he will keep minimum, technically. In sell, he'll keep more because his safety net then works accordingly. I'm assuming so. But like I said, fundamental problem is he doesn't have a choice beyond the safety net. He is supposed to execute it. Let me think of the real, step back and say, today's scenario, while the trading plan exists, people do not submit. Why have they always shied away from this entire concept? Is because they believe something is binding on them. Something that they thought at a point in time, they have to keep that in mind and execute this, which is why they feel bound to exercise it. If this provision doesn't go right, we will not be able to get trading plans to work. Because people will still feel, oh, मैं तो इसमें bind हो गया, अब मुझे 700 पे ये तो करना ही पड़ेगा, इससे तो अच्छा मैं trading plan ना दूं, मेरे पास सिर्फ short period का restriction है, I will go ahead and do like how I would have done. So this is the only provision where I feel if you don't get it right, the efficacy can move. But that's my limited mindset. I'll think more and get more illustrations to supplement my view. But I have no point, like I said, no comment on the plus or minus 20%. That to me, it's a safety net.
Okay, I think the Ajayji and Geetika and Nehal, whatever you have suggested, we can work out some more example, the live example, so the clarity will come. In my opinion, the price limit flexibility which they have proposed, it is clear, it looks good, but when it is coming to the implementation plan, then the safety net concept is coming, then I have to sell or not. That SEBI has to come out more clearly that this is a plus 20, and if you are not giving if you are giving the rate, say 900 or up to 800 you can give. So if you have not given, you have to sell it. If you have given 900, then you have to sell it. So something clearly they can come out, and I will request all people, those who are representing industry, that they can give some example. And I'm agreeing on Nehal's point that today the market is so volatile that 20% circuit filter is taking in a day if it is in under that category. Or if it is a company's 10% also in the 2 days, it's that filter. So the way things are moving. So let's park this point. This is one issue. Please give me some examples, some point. And Ajay ji, you also give example of corporate action, that how they will be calculated and how the normal person can understand. And we will pass on this information to SEBI so they can, when they are coming out the finality, they should come out very clearly and specifically FAQ also on this. Okay.
Request all the
Yeah.
participants to also
Yeah.
go through the report of the working committee, which is part of this consultation paper. There the various stages or various price limits and whether it will be executed or if it will not be executed. It is given in a tabular format, which is part inside the report of the working group. So I would request the members to all to go through that tabular column if required.
Yeah, that's right. The report you can download and we can share it also. Shivam, please send that report to everybody, those who are participating. So now I'm moving to, because time is short, so I have to just rush. The next is date of or interval for trade execution. So I will not ask everyone now because we have to take up some questions also. So these the most complicated questions was this price limit. Now these are very small points. So those who
Pawanji, this is also an issue. This is also an issue.
Okay,
We should be giving a 2-month period. You say whenever you want to sell or whenever you want to purchase. Why there should be an interval of 5 days or like that?
Okay. So insider shall set out their interval or dates on which trade pursuant to trading plan will be done. So now they are saying propose the term interval may be replaced by term time period not exceeding 5 consecutive trading days. So this is one point which Ajay ji is saying. This is a issue which what Geetika and you, Nehal, you want to say on this?
Can it be open-ended? I think let it. If you want to make it popularized, let it be open-ended, I guess. And once if SEBI think that there is a misuse of this thing, then of course they can always make it a little more restrictive in future. But if you have to really popularize, you have to just let the employee decide.
Okay, Geetika.
I agree with Nehal and Ajay ji, more so from a point of view that, say, if this actually picks up and people give trading plans, and I know most of the trading plans, if they fall in the same window, and if I have this interval, I apply the same logic at the end of the day as a person or someone in my team would know, okay, is window mein itne to execute hone hi wale hain.
Okay. Okay. Ananya, sir, Das sir, this particular thing is, everybody is saying this 5 consecutive trading day is a complicated thing. So
Actually, we studied few trading plans which were disclosed on the website, and we found both the cases where they have just given one particular quantity and to be executed over 12 months. And there were others also where they have split into on a weekly basis, so much quantity will be sold on this week, so much quantity. So
okay.
We have seen both the cases, and I think our maybe regulatory fear was when you keep it open, it can be timed and price can be manipulated. So that is why we said a certain time period between which you have to give whatever quantity you want to sell.
Okay, Gopalji, you think that this is 5 consecutive trading is sufficient or something to make it more popularized?
No, just to make it clear, I am not saying all the trades has to be executed in 5 consecutive trading. So within 2 months, you divide into various buckets. So 5 day would be one bucket, and in that bucket, you decide how much you want to sell. So it will be some say what, I think 8 or 10 buckets during the 2-month period.
Savitri, quickly, you can you just tell the solution for this?
So actually, just as Mr. Das mentioned, it's up to you as to which period you want to choose in the 2-month trading period. So, you may choose, let's say, let's say, for example, a trading plan were to be given in the month of April. So you have 4 months of cooling period, and post which 2 months. In that 2-month period, the period within which you would be doing the trading, let's say, for example, 1,000 shares to be traded in period X to period Y. That X to Y cannot exceed 5 consecutive trading days, is the way it's been put. Now, you can actually have different buckets. Like, say, for example, you want to sell 5,000 shares, you can possibly create 5 or maybe 8 buckets and have number of shares given. But with respect to each of those buckets, you will have to do it within a period of 5 trading days.
Okay.
Yeah, so Pawanji, one small point on that, because these are directly going to impact us. So the Das and Savitri, see, small bucket means what? Then you say 500 share I will sell from 1 to 7. Another 500 I will sell from 8 to 15. Another 500 I will sell. So that means it becomes a cumbersome and a complicated process. See, when you are saying you give me a trading plan, it means I will not have a UPSI. Then there is no question of timing. Das said that there is a regulatory perspective that the insider can time the market. When you are saying I don't have a UPSI and I am giving a trading plan after a period of 4 months, then I think I should be allowed to say within 2-month period I will sell 5,000 shares. I may sell on any day. Why I have to bucket it 500 shares into 10 bucket? I think to make the trading plan a little attractive, we have to make it a little open-ended for the insiders.
Okay.
And maybe to just add one point, purely as a this thing curious case, what if we do away with this? What's the loss? Is it increasing complexity, or do we really need it?
Das sir, this point is coming that if this, we can done away with this part, will it create a problem?
No, it was not there earlier. See, in the existing framework, there's no provision of bucketing or anything. So if the comments comes like that, we will consider that way.
Okay. Now next, Mohini, because time is short, so I have to just rush now. Contracted. This is very interesting, and everybody is worried on this. And this is, they have simplified trading window norms and restriction on contra trade shall not be applicable for trades carried out in accordance with the approval trading plan. This was the current provision. Now what they are suggesting, the provision exempting trade executed under trading plan from applicability of contra trade restriction to be omitted. Contra trade provisions shall be applicable on trades executed under trading plan as well. So do you think this Geetika, this has simplified the process, or it has created some problem?
I don't know. I'll start with the question because I could see one of the attendees also asking the same question. Is that fine? Contra trade will not apply to whatever is happening in the trading plan. But say if I execute, if I exercise my ESOPs, usually without all of this, if I used to execute my ESOP and then there used to be a contra trade, it was exempt because ESOP pe nahi lagta tha. But assume if I exercise my ESOPs and then do whatever I had planned as per my trading plan, will contra trade apply or not?
Savitri, Geetika, Savitri, Mohini.
ESOP is not so ESOP exercise is out of the purview of the trading plan.
Yeah.
So you can exercise anytime. To sell the equity shares acquired pursuant to ESOP, if it is covered under the trading plan, so it will not fall under the contract. So if during the trading plan, if you have mentioned that you are exercising more, So, and then you are selling those things. So it's because it's per se and outside the scope of the trading contra trade now. So same provision will apply in the trading plan also. Only
So let me
because
just
the time period is very small. It's a 2 months time period. So that's the reason why the contra exemptions are being done away with. Earlier, it's for the 12 months period.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why the contra exemptions are there.
But
Okay,
one, when the shares comes into the demat account, it loses it's become very fungible. How will you know whether it is pertaining to ESOP allotment or it is pertaining to the market trade? I mean, market purchase.
So,
Today
Nehal,
also-
let me come in here. Let's assume you've had a market purchase and you are selling within X period of the market purchase. Prima facie, it will be presumed that you are selling out of your market purchase. And hence, so there is this detailed FAQ which has been provided with respect to insider trading, where there's a chart which very clearly brings out these points. But as you rightly said, it is not which is not clearly identified. It's not in specie. So therefore, one cannot say that this is out of the ESOP or this. So what happens is if you've got ESOP and you've also had some market purchases, you are then losing your exemption, which was otherwise available with respect to your ESOPs. If it is pure and simple ESOP, contra trade will not apply. Let me also add in over here. There's no complete clarity if you have exercised your ESOPs and you've also given a trading plan. Will contra provisions apply or not? Is a question which I'm going to take away as a query.
Am I supposed to smile? We can't hear you, Pawan sir.
So that's the ball is in your court.
Exercise of ESOP is outside trading plan. Only the transactions are part of. So transaction, there's a restriction on contra trade. So exercise of ESOP is outside the trading plan. So
same provisions. I think the same provisions of contra trade is applicable and the same table is applicable even in the trading plan. So exercise of ESOP, sale of ESOP share, it's fine. But in between, if you have purchased, then a 6 months cooling period is required before selling the ESOP share as well. So same provisions will apply. So if we understand that contra table, then apply the same here in the trading plan.
and once the ESOP is exercised, the shares are acquired. So once it goes into demat account, is fungible. So whether it is out of conversion of ESOP or not, or bought from the market, it's fungible. So only the when contra trade restrictions will be looked into, it is only the transaction. So marketable transactions, that's it, which
Okay.
are sold in the market.
Okay. Okay.
I think the relevant examples can be given into the FAQ issuance also post this amendment. It would be really helpful to all of us to implement it at a uniform level. Otherwise, everyone will take their own different interpretation.
Yeah, Neil, in the suggestion, we will write this, the clarity on ESOP and the selling of the ESOP share or selling ESOP share and then contra trade doing this.
Yeah.
So we will write on this. Okay. Next is, there are two things on the compliance side. That timeline for this. So earlier, there was no certain timeline. Now they are suggesting 2 days from the date of approval of trading plan. I think something which was not there was no clarity, and now they are recommending 2 days. I think this is perfect, and timeline of 2 days is sufficient. Sir, in place of 2 days, it should be 2 working days, because sometimes what is happening, you are doing Friday and then transaction. Okay. Now next, very important, which we have to discuss that is very important, format for reporting details of trading plan. Now, the working group also deliberated on the disclosure of personal detail, name, designation, PAN number of insider in trading plan. Now, it explored 3 alternatives. Continue with full disclosure. Personal detail of insider will be disclosed along with the trading plan for informed decision making by investor and monitoring by the stock exchange. Okay. So masking personal detail. So the first point is the all 3: name, designation, PAN. Masking personal detail, protecting insider privacy by concealing the personal detail in trading plan. Dual disclosure, insider makes separate filing, one with personal detail to the stock exchange kept confidential and one without personal detail made public. A unique identifier is suggested for reconciliation between these filing. So in my opinion, let's discuss on the dual disclosure point which they are saying. So it is protecting from the misuse also, and this is working out. So on this issue, what is the view of first? Let me just ask Ajay ji and Geetika and Nehal. Ajay ji, you have any point on this?
I don't have them because these are just an administrative issues and through softwares and all it can and be easily handled.
Geetika, you're okay. Nehal?
Looks
Yeah,
like
I'm okay. I'm okay. Hybrid would do better.
Okay. Sir, Das sir, you must have received some information when you have given any additional point you want to say, whether dual disclosure can help?
See, this is to actually we were getting feedback on the privacy issues. Though in the current framework, whatever disclosures we have seen, both name and designation are being disclosed. But because we were getting certain feedback, so we came out with these 3 alternatives. And based on the feedback, we'll implement.
Okay, Gopal ji, now stock exchange will receive these all information. So what is your view? The privacy concern which is raised by in the committee, and you were the part of the committee. So what is your view? How to protect them?
See, one thing is very clear. Even if you look at the shareholding pattern today, I receive the PAN numbers, but I don't disseminate the PAN numbers. I only disclose the name. So even for these dual disclosures, I would not look at 2 filings because then I would need to then be required to verify whether both the filings are same. So I would put out a format wherein, like a shareholding pattern, I will not, supposing it is decided even the name is not to be disclosed, and I will not disclose the name and PAN, but I would disclose the other details. So as far as the exchange goes, I would go in for a single format of filing so that I don't need to do a reconciliation of whether the filing for disclosure and filing for confidentiality are the same or there are some things which are different. So it will be a single filing, but not disclosing the whatever if final decision is taken on disclosing the name but not the PAN, then it would be as simple as shareholding pattern where I disclose the name and whatever is the trading plan. But if it says name and PAN not to be disclosed, then I'll be disclosing only the whatever is required, maybe the designation or whatever may be the. And here I can do away with the unique identifier for reconciliation also because it is a single filing.
Okay, so this is the solution which they have come out. Now, friends, the all 7 points we have covered, and everybody has raised this point, so we have noted down. Now come to some queries, which I just want to quickly cover. Whether exercise on ESOP would amount to, any one person can give answer. Whether exercise of ESOP would amount to contra trade if trading plan is executed within 6 months of sale transaction.
Exercise of ESOP will not attract contra trade.
Okay. Can TP include both buy and sell transaction?
So then it will be contra trade.
Okay. So you can include both buy and sell, but it will be contra trade if you are doing this. Okay. Approximate amount and mode of ESOP exercise will be known to the KMPs in advance. Should such amount be mentioned in the trading plan in advance?
No, so there are 4 parameters which are required to be mentioned. You could either give the value or the number of shares that you're going to be trading in, for which the trading plan has been given.
I think all that calculation is for your own planning.
Absolutely.
Need in the trading plan.
How to address trading by employee holding ADR listed in UK, USA, where other than self-declaration, no report mechanism exists. It is it correct to apply the stringent regulation particular only to Indian employees holding any equity in shares?
Actually, going by the circular of SEBI, even ADR, GDR are covered under PIT regulations. So therefore, trading plan will equally apply to them. So you can just give the number rather than the amount in this case.
Okay.
Disclosure in those stock exchanges is not required. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Somebody has asked some question which is not connected to trading plan. We'll give separate answer of pen freezing. Okay. Why can't SEBI clarify when the information will be treated the UPSI? Then just saying when the probability of happening is more than not happening. This is very subjective. The clarification and trigger of UPSI will deal the issue of perpetual UPSI and ease the life of compliance officer. I think Savitri, you can, you and Geetika can give answer whether it's, this solution is helpful or not.
My answer to this question is noted.
Okay. Okay. Now, if for a bank, if they are lending to company which give 3 years projection, for how many months, years that UPSI can be considered? I think these are some plan which is not corporate. We are focusing only on the trading plan. So this question will separately address. Now, dear member, we are from company's name they have given. Our point is to blackout period. As per regulation, insiders submitting trading plan cannot trade between 20th trading day prior to the last day of any financial period till second trading day of disclosure of financial results, which means restriction on them to trade is more than usual trading window closure. This may defeat the purpose of trading plan. Hence, the recommendation of doing away the blackout period is welcoming. Okay, this is suggestion which is thank you. It is possible to close the trading window for insider automatically for the perpetual, and only insider with trading plan is allowed to trade in the company shares. This is suggestion for Das sir for you. So you, I think, which you are doing, nobody can. Yeah. Okay. Freezing of pen through pen. We have now somebody is saying now you open that those who submit trading plan. So you freeze all and then open this.
Again, on this, I would like to say that actually the company uploads which pans to be freeze.
Okay.
It is not the regulator who decide which pans to freeze. So company has to decide which.
So you are given solution. The company should freeze all the pen except those who have submitted trading plan.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So this is company responsibility. We have a query in addition to subject matter being discussed. No, that we will cover later on. Does SEBI propose to have a specific disclosure for reporting after completion of trading plan, given that the insider may not have completed the trades as per trading plan due to introduction of price limit? Thank you. Okay, this is suggestion somebody is saying. Query on price limit provision. As per the consultation paper, it says if the price is outside the price limit set by the insider, the trade shall not be executed. The word shall mean the insider cannot execute the trade even he wants to do the trade even if the price is outside the price limit. Sir, I think this is the suggestion relating to the drafting. So the word shall which has used, we can interpret and we can come out
No. This is, let me step in here, Pawan. It is intentional. Because if you've given a price limit, if it is not within that limit, you have to let go of it, because you have made a choice saying that this is what I would do. You cannot then say that although it is not within the limit, let me now do it. That's not permitted.
Okay. Last two questions.
So shall is intentional.
Okay.
Mr. Das, I hope Mohini.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay. So now there's a two group. One is the group of the committee member and non-committee member.
No, even Mr. Gopal Krishnan was also a committee member. I'm only recollecting just in case I've forgotten something.
Okay. I think full disclosure should be given. Exchange in coordination with SEBI can publish what is required. No need to 2 copy of disclosure. Let exchange take full disclosure. I think this is exchange is taking disclosure, so there's no issue. What happened to the trading plan if the employee resigned after submitting the plan? Will he still be required to execute the plan?
No.
The answer is yes. He has to.
Yes, he should. He continue to be a connected person for 6 months, right?
So after, suppose he resigned and the period is coming after 6 months, then what will happen?
Now with the new
Now
one
it will not
coming in, it will only be 6 months.
Okay.
Old one, of course, there is a possibility 6 plus 12.
Okay.
But now with the new one, I mean, assuming everything goes through, 6 months, he has to, be very clear.
Okay. Sundarshan sir, we are through with
No,
all.
according to me, Savitri here, according to me, the trading plan, see, the employee would remain as a connected person, I agree. But within that 6 months, the trading plan should not be applicable to him. And pursuant to he can taking the approval of the compliance officer or not, he can trade in the share. Suppose that employee has to exercise a large number of stock options because after his resignation, within some company gives 60 days, some company gives 90 days. Within that 60 days or 90 days, he has to exercise the stock options which are outstanding. In that case, he has to sell a large number of shares to exercise his pending stock option. But I think if an employee resigns, then his trading plan should stop at that point of time, and then he can deal pursuant to after taking the prior pre-approval from the compliance officer.
This point with respect to ESOP is a good valid point, Ajay. And I think this could be
Yeah, we
considered
can
by
take this as a
SEBI
feedback. And
also. Yeah, but it can
I
only
am
be for
personally
exercising
affected,
ESOPs,
Savitri.
not otherwise. Okay.
Yes, agree.
Okay. So last question, the freeze of shares happen from NSDL as per the details of the employee, which is uploaded by the company. How can a company not freeze a PAN of 1 or 2 employee? Should the company remove the name of the employee from NSDL list?
No, you don't have to remove. There is a provision for asking NSDL not to freeze.
Okay.
That's available.
Okay, so friends, we have covered all the questions which we have received, and we have discussed, and it was a very fruitful discussion in my opinion. We have thoroughly discussed all 7 points, and there is a consensus on this, and there is a suggestions on this, and there is some issues which are there. So let's compile all the issues. So if Sundarshan sir is there, can you just summarize, sir? If you help us. Okay, so let's close this session. The time we have already exceeding 15 minutes. So as
Avanji, can I give one small 15-second comment?
I'm coming, sir. So as per ritual, we are asking everybody for 15 to 30 seconds the concluding remark on this, that how this particular things can be effectively utilized, effectively used, and how this can be useful tool in the hands of insider. Because the purpose for this SEBI came out this trading plan concept. It should be very fruitful and useful. So I will start with Ajayji with you. Concluding point for 30 seconds.
Yes. See, insiders are of two types. One are the promoters who have rich pockets, and one are the poor employees who are trying their ways out to meet their regular requirement. So my point is that let's distinguish between these two set of insiders with regard to trading plan. That's my only request.
Okay.
Thank you.
So he is suggesting that the employee which is required fund and the shares is one of the option for him. So he should be treated differently and there should be liberal law for him. Okay. Geetika.
I think very well done, because to get something positive out of a concept which has not been working for such a long time for the industry, to me, it's an achievement in itself. Most of this looks okay. I think like any other law or any other consultation papers, one will have scenarios which are not answered, and we'll submit that as consultations along with illustrations. But great work done by the team and the members. And also corporate professionals for this, for clarifying this. Nothing else. We'll send in my comments.
Okay. Anil.
I think the changes are absolutely quite good. in terms of giving more and more flexibility for the insider to kind of, design a plan. And I am sure it is going to work out very well. And I'm sure, the suggestions will get incorporated, whatever the suggestions that we have given.
I'll request all the panelists also, whatever points they have, minute, give it to us. We will compile it and submit to. Okay, Savitri.
So, Pawan, I would like to congratulate you for organizing this particular session. It has not only brought in clarity on the consultation paper, but also has given an opportunity to get on board few of the points. Of course, in terms of the consultation paper itself, I'm an interested party, so I cannot appreciate it. But I would definitely say that it was a very enjoyable experience and very well led by Mr. Sundaresan and assistants of the SEBI team.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gopalji. Mohini.
Yeah, so one more regulation for exchanges to monitor. So exchanges will be monitoring this particular, whether having submitted a trading plan, have you executed it within the time, and whether the price limit existed at that point in time and you failed to execute. So this will be another insider trading regulation compliance which the exchanges will be monitoring. But yes, yeah.
So more responsibility, more position.
More responsibility, yeah, of course.
Can I have a last point after a last point? It always happens. So like all other this thing we are doing our part of research, my team members Gaurav and Nidhi helped me, and I asked them, let's look at global practices. And except for one point which I did discuss on cool-off period, I did not actually find any other global benchmark. The point I'm trying to highlight it is, if we get this right, I think we'll be the first ones to get it right.
Yes.
I think trading plan and whistleblower, these two have always been the biggest question marks in any jurisdiction, if I may say so. No one has got it right. Whistleblower is a very long drawn process, but I think trading plan, if we can get it right, we'll be the first one. So kudos for thinking in this area. And
we will get it. Mohini, your point.
Sir, as a committee member, I can only say that now we have received homework, and then we have to put some more efforts to finalize those things.
Okay. So, Das sir, if Sundaresan sir is not there, then your word is last word. Otherwise, Sundaresan sir can close it. What message you want to give to industry?
First of all, I would like to thank corporate professionals for organizing such a nice webinar. And I would request all the participants to give their feedback so that we can make any improvement on this, and hopefully the new initiative would be a success for the industry.
Sir, we will give you before 15th all the suggestion compiling and send it to you in the track mode, that what are the things are there. Sir, is there? If sir is there, then you can give your concluding remarks, sir. Sundaresan sir. I think he is supposed to go to some meeting. Yeah. So friends, thank you very much for participating. So my thanks to Mr. Sundaresan, who has encouraged us to organize this program and suggested names of everybody, and all the members, Mr. Das, Mr. Vijayan, those who have given input, and then 3 committee members, Mohini, Savitri and Gopalji, who has given the insight of this, and Ajayji, Geetika and Nehal giving different aspects. The success of this program will be there. So whatever points in your mind, I have some certain more questions, but time constraints was there, that we will write to SEBI so they can discuss and they can come out. So anybody else, any point, please write to us. We will do it. So all the participants, those who have asked questions, though we have tried to give answer, but certain things are not there, we will separately address to you. With this thing, thank you everybody. Thank you very much. And I'll request all the participants and delegates, 16th is our 20th Foundation Day. So I'll request, join us, see our journey and encourage us the way we will do more work.
Heartiest congratulations, sir.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Heartiest congratulations in advance.
Thank you. So thank you very much. See you next Saturday and then for next Friday on some interesting topic related to corporate, which will solve the problem. Thank you very much. Thank you.